Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you a three-part series on a 12 by 12 one-sheet wonder. We're going to create 8 different cards, and in the beginning of each series, I will rerun the video on how to cut the paper. So the first thing you need to decide is what paper you're going to use. I am using the 12 by 12 paper that is a part of the celebrations going on now, and this is the Bloom Impressions 12 by 12. And if you purchase $60 in my online store, you can get this paper for free. So we are going to use the Blackberry Bliss kind of flowery floral. It does not have a directional pattern, but if you do choose one, say this one that has a directional pattern, or this one where the flowers are going straight up and they all have a direction, you're going to want to pay attention to that, and I will share with you how to cut those. But for today, I don't have to worry about it, and you would not either if you don't have a direction. So let's start with our 12 by 12, and the first cut that we're going to make is at 4 inches. So you just slide your paper in to your cutter, line it up at the 4-inch mark, and cut your first 4-inch. Now we're going to set this aside, and then for this particular 4-inch piece, you're going to want to cut a 5 1/4 inch piece. So we're going to put that right in there at 5 1/4. And then you're going to want to do that again, another 5 1/4 inch piece. So you simply slide that right over here, line it up, and then you'll have this strip left, and this measures 1 1/2 by 4, and we're going to use that as well. So we'll set those aside. And then you bring back in your other piece of paper. And again, like I said, if it's a directional piece, you're going to want to rotate your piece so that your directional pattern is facing to the left. And so we're going to put that into our cutter, and we're going to, again, cut a 4-inch strip. So we're going to line it up at the 4 and cut a 4-inch. We're going to set this aside. And then what you want to do is you want to take this remaining piece and you want to cut it at, let's see, cut it at 5, and you put the long piece at the top, and you're going to cut another 5 1/4 inch piece. Okay, so just line it up in there. Okay. And then on this piece here that you have left, you're going to want to cut that at 2 inches. So you line that in to the 2-inch mark, and you're going to cut that. And we are going to use this strip, so we'll save this strip. And then for this remaining 2-inch piece, you want to put it into your cutter at 2 inches and cut. So now you have 2 2-inch squares. Okay, so I'll set that aside. Okay, so then for this remaining piece of 8 by 8 pattern paper, so again, if you have a direction on your pattern, you want your direction to be facing towards the left of you, and then you want to stick it into your cutter, and you want to cut it at 4 inches. Okay, 4 inches. We're going to set this aside. And we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it at 4 again to make a 4 by 4 square. Okay, so there's our 4 by 4 piece. Make sure I did that right. Yes, 4 by 4 sheet. Okay, and then you're going to put this other piece in, and you're going to cut a 1 1/4 inch strip. So this is 1 1/4, and you're going to cut that strip, and then you have this piece that's remaining. You're going to want to cut at 2 inches. So we're going to get another skinny piece that we're going to use, and then this 2-inch piece you're going to put back in, and you're going to cut 2 more squares of 2 inches. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And now our last cut that we're going to make, we have a piece that measures 4 by 8, and you want to put the long edge across the top of your cutter like this, and you want to cut it at 3 inches, and you want to cut it again at 3 inches. So you're going to have 2 3 by 4 inch pieces, and then you're going to have a strip that's left of a 2 by 4 inch piece. Okay, so that is all the cutting that we need to do, and so let's get started with making cards. Part 2 of our 3-part series on our 12 by 12 one sheet wonder, where we're creating 8 cards. So let's get started with card number 3. So for card number 3, you're going to need the 4 by 4 designer series paper, and you're going to position that across the top of your folded card, and this is going to measure 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score it at half. Then you're going to place that 4 by 4 sheet of designer series paper at the top, and you're just going to kind of off center it a little bit, and then you're going to trim off the excess. So as you glue it on here, this is the 4 by 4, and there'll be pieces up here, so you'll cut those off. And that is what I used for the inside of my card. So this is the other piece of the 4 by 4 that I cut. And I just took a circle punch and I punched out "thank you." And this is from the new set "With You in Mind" that's in the mini January catalog. And then these little added ons are just from the bow punch. I did the Fresh Frieza and the Blackberry Bliss, and added a few of the bling sequins, and those are free with a $60 purchase for our celebrations. Okay, so that's card number 3. Now, if you missed the part 1, feel free to go back and watch part 1 where I shared with you cards 1 and 2. And so card number 4 then is another piece of paper that measures 4 1/4 by 11, so that other half of that sheet. And then you want to score that in half at 4 1/4, and then you want to score it again. I'm sorry, you want to score it in half at 5 1/2, because this is 4 1/4 by 11 inch sheet, and then you want to score it again at 4 1/4, so you get 2 scores. So and then you're going to fold one in half, and then you're going to fold the other one back on itself. So what that looks like is a 4 1/4 by 11. You scored it half and 5 1/2, so you'll have this card, and then you fold it back on itself to get this book binder kind of fold. And then that's what creates this little book binding. And then you're going to put some adhesive on here, and you're going to glue that down so that stays put. And so that's how I got this book binding kind of effect. Now, all the supplies and all the measurements are available on my blog at blessedbycards.com with a free detailed description on how to put these cards together, and with all the measurements that you need. So after you fold that back, that gives you that book fold. And then for the front, you're going to use 4 of those 2-inch squares that we cut, and you're going to off center them, you know, flip it over and use the other side so that you get this kind of like checkerboard situation. And then I did the "thank you" again from "With You in Mind," and then I just used the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch circle punches to create that, and again use some of those purple adhesive back sequins to put a little bit on there. So, and then on the inside, this is a 4 by 4 white piece, and you can decorate that however you want. Okay, and so that is card number 3 and card number 4. And so for card number 5, I am using the 2 by 4 inch designer series paper and the 1 1/4 by 4. So I just put the 1 1/4 on the inside. So just put a piece of white that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and then add your strip of designer series paper on the side. And then on the front, I did the 2 by 4. And then I just layered up some fresh freesia and some blackberry bliss. And again, all the measurements and supplies are on my blog at blessedbycards.com. I stamped the happy anniversary from the everyday greetings and the greetings of the season. I believe the happy is from the greeting of the seasons and the anniversary is from everyday greetings. And then just add a little more bling and crop that out with one of the dies from the greetings of the season. And that is how simple that card came together. So again, if you've missed part number 1, where I shared card number 1 and card number 2, feel free to hop on over to my blog at blessedbycards.com, and you can see that video there. And this is part number 2, and part number 3 will be coming next week, where I will share with you cards 6, 7, and 8. So that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. And until next time, be blessed.